talk about your last fight in Hamilton, the knockout, how that made you feel, having that was the first knockout a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But how did it feel to drop someone and absolutely send them off to the fucking shadow realm?
Well, the main thing was I did what I was supposed to do in terms of not loading up and not going out with the intention of knocking them out. Because when you load up and try for the knockout, it never comes. So we went out with a general game plan. We did a good job downloading our opponent the first round, measuring, calculating, and ultimately we executed. We got the result we came for.
Where do you feel you are right now in your boxing career?
I'm at so hard to put a word to it, but I've gotten over a hump since I want to say 2020, because since turning professional, I've had 4 fights canceled on me. 3 of them were last minute, and as a fighter, a last minute canceled fight is a worse feeling than a loss, because you worked for nothing, whereas in a loss, maybe you learned something, you got in there and did it anyways. So after 2020, after the lockdowns, I was so grateful to be competing again. I was excited, I had that fire in me, whereas before I was inconsistent at times. So ultimately, I would say I'm motivated, I'm consistent. I've been sparring 2 or 3 times a week consistently since I fought Brandon Brewer. I've been sparring better guys, and I'm happy with the direction my career is going. So hopefully we keep getting the right fights, taking the right steps, and building.
So this will be the first time you're fighting for the Canadian title. Was that always a goal of yours to become Canadian champion?
So ironically, in my first ever professional boxing interview, Ryan Young's former promoter, Tyler Buxton, asked me if I thought I could win a Canadian title. I told him absolutely, and now I'm fighting his former fighter for one. So yeah, that's an interesting memory. I fought for a WBC USMBC title. I learned a ton in that fight. It was a great experience. It's amazing energy fighting for a title. Even just walking to the ring, seeing the person, the ring girl it is who holds the title up, seeing her fighting for that title, you almost feel like you're a little kid playing Fight Night again on Xbox, but you're doing it in real life. It's an amazing feeling. So I'm looking forward to that buzz and that excitement walking out.
When you heard the name Ryan Young, you know, because when we were putting this event together, there were so many different names and stuff that we threw out. I bet you didn't expect Ryan Young to be the guy.
No.
What emotions went through you when you heard Ryan Young could be your opponent for the Canadian title, which is going to be the 3rd time in 3rd weight class he's actually won that same title?
Yeah, I heard the name Ryan Young, and it was a name I wasn't, I didn't expect to hear at all, because I believe Lucas and I were driving a couple weeks prior to that, and we were talking boxing, just old memories and old guys that we used to fight, and the name Ryan Young came up, and Lucas said he's retired, he's done. And I said, well, you know, he had a good run, and he fought some elite guys. He fought for multiple titles. He won multiple titles. And I fought on the same card as him a few times. He was, comes across as a character, an interesting guy, gritty, determined. And I said right away that'll be a good fight in terms of our boxing style. And in terms of character, I think we're going to have fun in there.
Yeah, stylistically, what type of boxing styles do you see in you?
So, with my boxing style, a lot of it comes down to how I feel on the day. My energy, how camp's been going, how I've been sleeping, what's going on in my life. And you could have the best training camp in the world, you could have the best game plan. A lot of it comes down to how I'm feeling and in my mood, but I think the fight itself, it makes for a very good chess match. Might get rough in spots. He's game. He's a I sense he's a competitive guy, and I'm competitive also. I like to have fun in there. I like to showboat. I believe he'll buy into that a bit, and I believe it'll be a fun, interesting fight.
What separates you guys as fighters, boxers, and men?
Right. Well, I mean, what separates us as fighters, if we're talking technical boxing, he's a little bit taller, a little bit rangier. He's got the experience. He's fought for multiple titles. He's won a few. He has fought, I believe he fought Patrice Vonley when he was 12-0. I believe he was the B-side, and he lost a majority decision, meaning one judge scored it a draw, two scored it for his opponent. I look at that as a draw because he came in as the B-side. And he fought Kevin Higson when Kevin Higson was at his best. He fought Shaquille Finn, a super middleweight. So that fight was at a heavier weight class than what this one will be. So to sum it up, he's been in there with those elite guys, with those elite North American prospects. And he gave great performances, and he came up on the unlucky end of the judges' scorecard. So you could always look at that like he won those fights, right? But definitely an elite Canadian prospect. He's not a world-class prospect, but an elite North American prospect.
Do you consider yourself a world-class prospect?
I'm getting there.
You getting there?
Yeah.
All right. I'll say this on camera. I watched Patrice and Ryan Young that fight. I was actually there for that fight.
Sorry?
I was there for that fight.
Okay.
I was there filming. I was there from the first bell to the end. And Ryan Young won that fight.
Yeah. I heard he did. I heard he did.
And that's how I actually kind of like met him and Gord through that time. I was closer to them and I gave him the footage. I actually ended up leading him. He won that fight.
Yeah.
But we know what Canadian boxing is. What I like about this fight is two evenly matched guys. One coming up, one a little bit older, but still gaining very experienced.
Yeah.
You both are real fighters who love to fight. You'll fight Canadians, you'll fight anybody.
Yeah.
What predictions do you have for me on this fight?
For this fight, I predict a fast-paced boxing match. I don't believe it's going to be a dogfight. However, we are prepared to do both. So I believe it's going to be an entertaining fight. Possibly some theatrics, some showboating. I believe you're going to see both of our characters come out, and ultimately the fight is going to be a win for the fans.
Does he have a chance of winning?
Oh, everyone has a chance of winning. It doesn't matter who you are in the sport of boxing. They call boxing the theater of the unexpected because you just never know if someone pulls a hamstring, if someone breaks a hand, it can turn a fight around like that. So, yeah, absolutely is a chance of winning.
If there is going to be a knockout, do you want to give me a prediction of what round?
5.
Can you sum that up in a sentence?
If there is going to be a knockout, I predict round 5.
Thank you.
What holes do I see in Ryan Young's game? Well, he's a very well-rounded boxer. I would say he's a complete fighter. He has heart. He's motivated for this fight, but he does make mistakes like everyone else, and 10 rounds is a long time not to make a mistake. And if you make a mistake against me, I plan on making you pay for it. And if you make a mistake twice against me, well, then I'm definitely going to make you pay for it. So, yeah, holes in his game. I would say he makes the odd mistake. He leaves himself open here and there, but in general, he's on point.
2 more questions.
Yeah.
Obviously, you heard a little bit of interview from them online.
Yeah.
The shit talking from him and Gord. Do you have a response to those?
To what specifically?
Well, just saying that. Oh, let's listen to that.
Napolitano is, I believe that I have a higher IQ in terms of boxing and the sport. I also think that I am a better athlete.
Yeah, I'll cut it right there. That's the most appalling statement I've ever heard. I've heard he's a decent ball hockey player, and I'll give him that. Sure, he can slap a ball around the rink, but athlete, no way. Come on, no. I'm not even gonna go there. Skilled fighter, yeah, absolutely. High ring IQ, absolutely. He's been in there with those high-level guys. But as an athlete, I'd be only too happy to do a little sports competition for promo if you want, and I'll take him to school in the sport of his choice.
Okay. Last thing.
Yeah.
Do you have any message you want to send to Ryan Young, his fans, the Hamilton fans, your fans?
I wish him a healthy training camp and a safe fight. I thank the Hamilton fans for being supportive over the year, for cheering for me. Even though I'm from St. Catharines, a lot of them reach out online, a lot of them support me. I'm a big fan of the Hamilton Convention Center for both fighting there and watching fights there because it's a very electric area. It's small, but with the amount of people they fit in there, it's electric. I can't quite put it into words, but I love fighting there. I love the energy, and I can't wait to get in there March 30th.